there, I'm Christy Olson, and I just had a ton of fun hanging out on the Top Guy Theater. Make sure you check it out every week. They are so sweet, they really know their stuff, and you're going to get some pretty cool insight into the world of pro wrestling.
TGT. What the world is watching.
All right. It's going down in 8 days. It's going down in Foxborough, Massachusetts. It's going down. And the guy that it's going down with is here with us tonight. He believes he is the sexiest man in Rhode Island. He believes he's the Rhode Island sex god. Anthony Pires is here with us tonight to discuss Great American Bash 1991, which, as I was preparing for this show, it's got an interesting card, and we'll get into all of that and more. And away we go. There he is. The Rhode Island sex god is joining us. Oh, I don't know what to say. Let's start with you, Anthony. How are you, bud?
I was doing fine until you did your introduction, because quite frankly, you're talking trash about the Tennessee Titans. The only thing going down faster than a tie hooker is going to be the Tennessee Titans next week at the hands of the New England Patriots. And let me tell you something, Frank. I'm worried about being here on Top Guy Theater because I'm not sure the internet can handle the largest arm in all of Rhode Island and this sexy face and this beard. I hope you got enough bandwidth. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm hoping to. Let me just throw something out there real quick, just so you're all aware. I got a text today from I get notifications of what's going on with the Titans, and Bud Dupree is now on injured reserve for 3 weeks. So not only will we be in New England without the greatest running back in NFL history, Derrick Henry, without one of the best receivers in the NFL, Julio Jones, we're now going to be without one of our top edge rushers. So, yes, play those violin strings, but let me tell you something. They need to beat the Texans tomorrow, and I got to tell you one thing I'm more excited about is that is a nice jersey. I'm not gonna lie.
It's gorgeous.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm actually a huge fan of Mac Jones. I love what he's doing. It's all shit talk because I'm really looking forward to the fun and fellowship more than anything, and that's
gonna be a blast.
We do here. That's what we do here is fun and fellowship. So let me go back around the room here. I want to talk to James, who looks like he's at the local brothel.
That's right.
What's going on, buddy? Are you at your home?
I'm in the infamous place.
Okay. Oh, tell your kids I said hi. But
See, that's
James is going to join us and chime
I'm
in
on
when
location. I'm just not in a bus that like some other people do.
Okay. Speaking of the bus, Antonio could not make it tonight because he is in charge of the homeless hand jobs. So Brandy, hot off her trip to Chicago. How are you doing, hon?
I thought you were gonna say hot off her hand job.
Well, no, I'm good. I got stuck in Anchorage for a couple days, but I'm glad to be home.
You got stuck in Anchorage? I didn't know that.
Yes, I was supposed to get home Wednesday night, but there was volcanic ash that was disrupted because of the wind, and we could not fly.
Okay,
I hate
another
that
reason why
happens
you need
to me.
Get home
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Friday.
Let's go, Anthony. Is it not true that besides the occasional hurricane every 30 years, that we don't have that kind of bullshit going on here in Rhode Island?
Give me a nor'easter, give me a blizzard, give me a snowstorm, sleet, hail, whatever. None of this goddamn volcanic ash. Come on.
Yeah.
What century are we in? Brandy,
Right.
get out of the third world.
Yeah. Well, I keep telling her, it's like, she's like, one time she texted and she's like, hey, just see in case you see it on the news, there was an earthquake and now we're on a tsunami warning. Nothing to worry about. What? A tsunami warning? What? Like, what? What? Like,
I mean, we get high tide once in a while at Scarborough Beach. That's about as big a tsunami as we get.
Rhode Island had a flood in 2010, but I mean, what, like, the power goes out every once in a while, but I think it's time to move to the mainland, Brandy. Come on down. Join
Frank,
us
you know
here in
where,
the
you know where I was during that? You know where I was during that flood?
Where?
I was stuck in Tampa Bay for an extra 3 days. I felt so bad as my wife had to get the sump pump and fix the whole house, and my poor sons had to, take buckets of water out. I wish I could have helped, but God, you know what? There was cigars to be smoked. There was baseball to be watched. There was alcohol to be drank. I felt bad for them. It went away. That feeling went away quickly.
Yeah, I will tell you this, that flood was especially, in Westerly, was just devastating. We didn't have power for 7 days. I had to live with my in-laws for 7 days. Yikes. Let's get to Mike. So everyone calls him Money Mike, but we want the star power here on TGT, and everybody at AFS knows Michael McClanahan for the guy that asks all the questions. So we're gonna start calling him Michael McClanahan on this show, so that everybody knows that guy is here with us. So Michael McClanahan, how are you, sir?
Frank, you're much too kind. Thank you, as always, for having me on. Looking forward to a great evening of watching some wrestling with all of you from the early 90s. I've got to say, though, I'm here on a covert mission from Mappet Man in Antonio. And I am here, Anthony Pires, because by the end of tonight, you will no longer scream, "Go Pats," at the top of your lungs. By the end of tonight, sir, you will be a card-carrying member of the wonderful Bills Mafia.
Oh,
Say that again, Anthony.
that's a great idea, Money Mike. I'm going to throw away 43 years of Patriot fandom. And by the way, I know somewhere out there on the internet there's an over-under on how many times I do this. But Mike, this first one's for you. Go Pats!
43 years.
For it.
That's impressive. I think that's actually about 23 years longer than I've been alive.
Oh boy. Oh Lord.
I'm 49. I became a Pats fan at 6. So yeah, 43 years. Season tickets for 30 years.
That's impressive. I will say I've seen your Pats collection, and that plaque you got from the Patriots, that is awesome. I'm just busting your chops, but that is
No,
really
Mike, I want my chops busted. I want my chops busted hard. As good as I give, there's nothing more I love than taking it. Nothing more I love than taking it.
But no,
It is what she said.
There it is. So before we put on this barn burner, Phil, I know that I saw your eyes rolling back and you looked as if you were ready to nap.
Well, I tell you what, guys, I have got a story for you.
Oh.
So last week, the news broke that I was getting my colon cleansed.
Oh yeah.
So let me go into a little bit of detail here because people need to be aware of this kind of stuff, and it's serious and it needs to be addressed. So going forward, other people can follow my example. So I'm in my car. I'm driving down to East St. Louis. I get a little lost. I cannot, my GPS, I think it lost the signal, whatever. But finally, I found what fit the description of where I was supposed to get my colon cleansing. It was this kind of, like, I had to park in this really dark area of town. It was in between a massage parlor and a strip club. And there was like just garbage cans and dumpsters and kind of a really seedy alley. Normally you wouldn't go down there, but I heard really, really good recommendations about this colon cleansing. So I'm like, you know what? I got to go with this. I need a goddamn colon cleansing. So I go down to this little alley and I'm looking around, and there's some trash, there's some garbage, and finally there's a guy at the back, very back by the dumpster. He's smoking a cigarette. He looks like he's 37 going on 90. Haggard beard, denim jacket, denim jeans, smells like shit. And I'm like, this has got to be the right place because he smells like shit and he's cleaning out my colon. So obviously this guy is fantastic at his job. So I walk up and I'm like, all right, hey, dude, I am here for the colon cleansing. I've heard so many wonderful things about you. And so he reaches inside to his jacket and he pulls out a stick of butter. And I'm like, a stick of butter? I'm not sure. I've never done this before. And he's like, trust me, this is for the best. I said, okay, all right. So where's your table? Where do I lie down at? It's like, oh, you don't have to lie down. You just need to bend over. Okay, so I guess I'll just take my pants off and bend over then. I don't remember a lot after that, but what I do know for a fact is that my colon is so fucking cleansed. That guy did such a good job. I have not been able to walk straight for a week.
Thank you for ruining the garlic butter chicken wings that I'm going to have after we finish filming tonight.
So I'm glad you told everyone last week that I was gone and that it was for health reasons. I feel much better now. Somebody told me I might be pregnant. I don't know what that's about, but I'm ready to get on with Great American Bash 1991.
Well, I think you scared Anthony away.
Yeah, and that's hard to do.
I don't know what in the gods what the fuck to say after something like that.
Well, I mean, I can't disappoint our fans, and you guys seemed worried too last week, so I had to update everybody.
I do have one question about this procedure.
Yep.
Oh God!
Please,
I'll go into detail as much as you like.
Please tell me that you at least documented the medical expenses so you can take them as a Schedule A itemized deduction on your tax.
Oh my God!
Here's the weird thing: I didn't have to pay him cash. He what he wanted was he wanted a ham sandwich, a egg McMuffin from McDonald's, and a 6-pack of Natty Light.
Yeah, yes, Rhode Island sex god. He's still talking about it.
I'm being asked questions. I've got to answer.
Thank God. Sorry about that, folks. My phone did a weird thing where it all of a sudden said temperature is too high. Of course, I'm plugged into a computer, and my wife keeps the temperature like 92 degrees in this house. So these things may happen.
That's the way it is. We're on an internet show. Shit happens. We'll get over it. So everyone go to the cock as usual.
Get your cock up.
Whip it out. We're gonna go to search the Great American Bash. Obviously, we want the WCW version. There's 2 versions, and we're gonna go to season 5, episode 1.
As we're setting up here, you talk about there being 2 versions. Maybe I'll tee up the first question and I'll direct it at Anthony to start. What are your thoughts on WWE like taking classic WCW titles and kind of rebranding and reutilizing them for WWE purposes? I know we've seen it recently with the Halloween Havocs, but even back in the early 2000s, this Great American Bash is a prime example.
Well, listen, they own history, as they say, is written by winners. And obviously WWE won this war. I would love for them to bring back the Great American Bash names, the Halloween Havoc names, but they gotta present in such a way where it has a WCW feel to it. I mean, maybe NXT Halloween Havocs means nothing because it's just another show. Obviously, they've done the Great American Bash a couple of times with NXT and a couple of times with WWE main roster. I appreciate the sentiment, but at the end of the day, it's not what it used to be. I wish they would leave it alone because I am that 49-year-old nostalgic guy that just loves the old stuff, who loves the old rooted in tradition. But ultimately, end of day, they're going to do what they want to do. And to me, the Great American Bashes they did in WWE, it's not the same lineage. They can do what they want. It doesn't bother me, but I wish they'd just leave it alone because it's me. Now, you ask my 11-year-old nephew who goes crazy for all things wrestling. He thinks it's the greatest thing. It doesn't bother him.
Right.
I think it's a matter of how old you are. I really do.
Yeah, I think they're obviously they're hitting their demo, right? Like for me, I don't, I watched some of NXT Halloween Havoc, and to me, you can have a talking doll host it and put a spider on the wall, and that does not make it Halloween Havoc to me. I prefer, even though Swoggle thinks I don't like the set, I prefer the big pumpkin and the big gargoyle.
See, that's the bullshit because we all know that's a damn lie.
I did not say I did. I said the gargoyle is ugly.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go backwards on this one, and I'm gonna unfortunately have to defend Phil. I cannot believe this is happening.
Oh shit! This is a Top Guy exclusive.
We have to go back to the old Top Guy Theater. The first ever show that I was on with you people was Halloween Havoc '98, which is still going on, by the way.
Oh my God!
It's still taping. And you shit all over that set, like the most of the show. Yes, you.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
You said shit about the pumpkin. You said shit about the logo. You were all over that shit.
I can't wait to tell this to Swoggle.
Well, I'm gonna go back and watch it. So
go ahead.
So let me ask you this.
Then you're gonna fall asleep probably.
All right. Oh yeah, probably. So Anthony, I had the privilege of viewing Ghostbusters Afterlife last night. Were you a fan of the originals?
Yep. And I, too, had the privilege of seeing Ghostbusters Afterlife, but I have to stop. I have to stop cutting onions in theaters. It's embarrassing. People think I'm crying, like a 5-year-old boy. I wasn't crying. I swear to God, I wasn't crying, but fine, I was crying. Fine! Yeah.
It was all the French onion soup, correct?
Well, let me tell you this. I felt like they added the effects on it, were the fact that, and I don't want to give it away for those that are going to see it, but they definitely go into their roots from the first one. Like they did a great job of just
God Almighty there.
God,
they just so. I mean, if you remember, they pretty much take the ending storyline in the first one and bring it into the new world. So
my God,
it's really good.
Is it a brand new movie, or is it a remake of the first one, or is it a brand new sequel to the first movie?
It's a brand new sequel.
Okay.
It's a sequel to the second movie.
See that.
Would you call it Ghostbusters 3?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I was not crying, for the record. I was not crying.
And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. There was part of me that liked the reboot. I'm not gonna lie. It was Ghostbusters, so I didn't care. I enjoyed the reboot.
Jesus Christ! Frank,
it didn't.
First, no.
I love Melissa McCarthy.
First, it's white chicks. Now it's the remake of fucking Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like the stupid dancing bullshit with that guy, but like,
who are you?
Best Melissa McCarthy movie ever was The Heat with her and Sandra Bullock. That is a
he didn't say that was the best movie ever, like he did with White Chicks. I mean, it's a little bit.
I didn't say that was the best movie. All right, we gotta play this. All right, Anthony, give us the countdown.
In 5, 4, 3, go Pats! 2, 1, play.
Notice the deflection, by the way.
Oh, look, there's Antonio's bus.
I actually love this open. How you never see them open like this, where they take you through.
God, the 90s were awful for hair, weren't they?
So that was 91. So was the first person that we saw, was that Bobby Eaton? Because they don't know what to do with him at this point?
Pretty much. Hey, the 90s weren't awful for hair for me, because then I had hair. So give me the hair.
2 tickets, please.
By the way, that's not me
I don't want to make,
Eaton.
I love they show the program.
Phil, I don't want to make you jealous or nothing, but look at this beautiful mane I got going on, baby.
No, God,
luscious.
Look at this receding hairline I've got.
Oh, what I'm noticing here now is there's no metal.
Hey, and like to be packing heat.
the Baltimore Arena. Speaking of Baltimore, ladies, I'm single again. It's going to start with a scaffolding match. So I think what we're going to do, guys, because unless you want to talk about the fact that this is a capture the flag scaffolding match and it's got PN news in it.
No.
I think we're going to go to map it. Henry and I did a little bit of a. Let's just say we're going to go to the past, and then we'll come back to the future. So, everyone enjoy our map it segment. If I can open it, there we go. Come on, work, guys, work. There it is.
Bobby Eaton, by the way.
What is going on? I can't get anything to work. Add to stream. Can you guys see it? There we go.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, did that sound like shit, or was it just me?
What the actual?
No, that
fuck,
sounded
Mike?
like shit.
No, that sounded like shit.
Okay.
That was bad.
Why didn't you just upload
yeah, it was
the
bad.
video to the stream?
Yeah, guess what? I think I'm having a. What's going on with my stuff? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
So
we can hear you.
I think I'm having an internet problem now. What's going on in Rhode Island tonight?
Oh, it's weird. I don't know what the hell's going on. This is I think my phone was plugged into an unfamiliar computer that's overheating. That's why I got my issue. But I'm up and running right now, and God, look at that long flowing blonde hair, stunning Steve Austin and Terrence Taylor.
I was about to say, hey, unlike me in the 90s with Steve's hair, when he went bald, he made it work. I just look like an egghead.
All right, so I think I'm probably just going to have to not.
You're like you're like the Wish version of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep, you're not wrong. I even got the Wish version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Got Bobby Eaton climbing in that scaffold.
The vest looks good.
Bobby Eaton must be wondering, what the hell did I do?
Well, this is for Bobby Eaton. This is what, scaffold match number 7 or 8 by now.
Easily, because he did a bunch in the mid-southern area with in Lawler's group. I know that, and I know
them tour the Bash. What wasn't there like a series of scaffold matches on one of the Bash tours and like the Jim Crockett?
After Starrcade '86, he and Dennis Condrey took on the Road Warriors a bunch of times. Like, look how narrow that plank is. Holy!
Do you know what I heard, guys? I did some research on this show. For once in my life, I actually researched something. And I heard that rumor innuendo on this show is that the reason they had this match was to cut PN News' career short and save us all. Is that true?
No.
If they did, thank you for trying WCW.
Are you saying they were trying to go for some breaking news?
Oh! Wow!
And this is the last time Money Mike's invited.
I mean, it's to be expected. His sense of humor is shit, just like his taste in sports teams.
His taste in sports teams.
And his taste in restaurants.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to New York. What am I going to
have?
I'm going to go to the Olive Garden
in New York.
Yes, that's his dream, is to take Charlotte Flair to the Times Square Olive Garden.
Charlotte, if you're watching, there you go. Andrade, you got some competition, buddy.
Where do you
Charlotte,
think
we can
if
go
Money Mike
wherever you want to eat. I don't care. I've got an open checkbook for you. Only for you.
Only because he's the only man in the world that's left that still uses a checkbook.
True story. Hypothetical question.
What's a checkbook?
Question. Okay, we were all at Top Guy Weekend except for Money Mike. If Money Mike was picking dinner, what would he pick? Where would we be going?
Probably Olive Garden.
My money was going to be on the Texas Roadhouse because that was
Texas Roadhouse.
Actually, it was in Chicago, right? So I know a little hidden place to go get.
Well, it wasn't in Chicago though. It was in Schaumburg.
We were in Schaumburg. We were in a suburb.
Well, in that area, I would have taken us all to the Hilton by O'Hare, and we would have gone to the restaurant in that hotel, which is a very nice restaurant where I spent Thanksgiving about 9 years ago, and I
Wow,
had
that's
spaghetti and
not the
meatballs, and
direction
it's
I
That
actually
would
a
be a
fancy
long
restaurant.
trip for some food because it would probably be what, an hour and
No,
15
O'Hare
minutes.
was like 20 minutes away. That wasn't that far.
I will die on this hill and I will fight anyone. The only place you go for a good meal, or if you take us out for a Thanksgiving meal, it better be fucking Cracker Barrel, or it better be not be anything at all.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
If
you
you're
know,
going out to
the
dinner on
wild
Thanksgiving or
guys.
Christmas, you go to freaking Chinese. You know that.
Agreed.
Oh.
Agreed. And in a world where you're in that area and there's a Morton Steakhouse near you, why the hell aren't we going there?
Ooh,
Yeah,
Mhm.
no,
ooh,
steakhouse.
fine. Okay, I'll live with that.
At least, like, I'm saying, like, where we were at Top Guy Weekend specifically. If we were in downtown Chicago, different story completely.
Different story, absolutely.
Speaking of steakhouses in downtown Chicago, Brandy, didn't you, Michael A. and Mark Nelson go to a great steakhouse when you were in
We
Chicago?
went
Do you
to
want?
Gibson Steakhouse on the
Oh.
recommendation of one JR,
Fantastic.
and it
steakhouse.
was amazing.
That was in downtown, though, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was done on Rush Street.
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea if you were there. The other place that not as talked about in Boston, and when Frank returns, because I'd never eaten at the restaurant he used to work for, but Grill 23 is another one of those little hidden gems. It's
And
outstanding.
there's some place I'm getting ready to go to Providence next week, and I know there's some place that people have talked about called the Capitol Grill.
Oh, wow. That's
Well,
kind of
is that-
everywhere, though.
No,
It's good at Providence. It's
Capitol
good.
Grill is good, but it's a chain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there was a Capitol Grill right by
Brady,
the restaurant.
Brady, we're going to Federal Hill.
No.
Okay.
You should take
We're
her
going
to
to Federal
Wright's
Hill,
Chicken
Brandy.
Bar just to experience the other side of Rhode Island.
Anthony, I have to say,
I'm not going to do that.
I'm
She
kidding.
was telling us about the tailgate menu that you have for next week, and my mouth was freaking watering. It was that good.
Although, now that I
All of you guys out there in Top Guy Theater.
Go ahead.
What's that?
No, go ahead.
Well, right now I've got planned. You got to start off with a nice, nutritious bowl of soup. I got a big thing of minestrone soup that's gonna be ready to go because every morning is a good soup morning. I've got shrimp, steak, and vegetable skewers on the grill, marinated all night long in olive oil, and I've got it marinated two things: lemon pepper, and JR's barbecue sauce. Not the sauce, but the JR's barbecue seasoning.
Seasoning.
And of course, yeah, there'll be a little nacho setup, and oddly enough, there's a rumor, I may have a lot of beer on hand.
Are you telling me,
Which,
as
I'll be drinking.
Man, as a Portuguese man, you don't have crushed red peppers that it's marinating into? I mean, come on.
What?
Well, no, I like my red. I like my red peppers separate. I'll be honest with you.
All right, fair enough. But do you enjoy? The real question is, when you go to a Portuguese steakhouse, do you enjoy the double starch that you get as your side, the French fry rice?
Oh
side?
my God, yes, yes.
What is
The hard chips they give you at the Portuguese restaurant. That's the only way to go.
Now,
So-
can I ask? Honestly, I don't
Yeah.
know if anyone knows this, but Anthony and I have something very, very similar in common. So, this feast you're preparing, Anthony, are you able to partake in all of it?
I am able to partake in enough of the all the vegetables I want. I can handle that easily. I can handle a little bit of steak and a little bit of shrimp, so I can partake. But bear in mind, we're going to get to the stadium at about 9:00 in the morning and do this for about 3 hours. So by stretching it out, it'll be nice and easy. Oddly, you know what I can eat? You know what I can eat? Chicken,
Yeah, see, chicken.
which is
chicken
why I
wings
bring
are-
no chicken wings.
Yeah, chicken.
I can't
See,
do
I
it.
don't like chicken wings. I don't like chicken wings anyway. I don't eat anything that's fried at all.
Hey, guys,
I won't eat
PN
chicken fried.
News generally looks fearful for his life right now.
Yes.
PN,
Oh,
like,
well, he should.
I mean, do you blame him? I mean, I'm definitely afraid of heights. If they were like, "You're going to be in a scaffolding mat," I was going to be. I quit.
Nope.
I'm not coming to. I'm not
All
coming
right,
to work tonight.
what's
This,
a
by the way,
number-
guys,
Go ahead.
All right. What's
This
a
match
dumber-
was less than 5 years after the Night of the Skywalkers. And
Yeah.
there's no issue between these two teams at all. Why the hell were they having a scaffold match?
It's a
Because
gimmick match for
told
the
you.
sake of a gimmick match.
I told you this was they're trying to get rid of PN News. They wanted to save us the
Well-
aggravation and the shitty matches.
And now I'm going to take a question here on the scaffold match and apply it to a more modern day perspective. But do you guys think that the scaffold match loses its appeal and matches like it because of, say, tragedies like what happened with Owen Hart? I know that's a bit of a weird take, maybe, but do you think that the concept of matches with a lot of heights, in this instance, maybe they lose their appeal, or spots like a fall
no,
lose their appeal?
not because of Owen
the
Hart, but
tragedy?
because of just head trauma in general.
I'm going to take the exact opposite approach. If there's a match like this and it seems like there was a risk of falling, and people remember what happened to Owen or other falls, they're going to be more invested in that match. They're going to want to go, oh my God, this might turn into another Owen. And it sucks that people think that way, but they will be genuinely vested more into the match if they think something like that might occur.
Yep,
That's a unique perspective.
agree.
I hadn't thought of that. And thank you for
I-
entertaining the question.
I always go back to the Vic Grimes thing, and you'll never see another scaffold
Yeah.
match again, just because of that piece of shit, no good wrestling horror piece of garbage taking liberties, New Jack. My opinion of New Jack changed tremendously after Dark Side of the Ring, because he openly admitting to wanting to kill that guy.
Mhm.
And he openly admitting to beating the shit out of an old man, and he openly admitted to stabbings. Like, who the fuck is this dude?
How did you not know this?
I didn't know any of that shit. I mean, I knew about the mass transit incident.
Mhm.
I think everyone knew about that one, but I didn't know about the other ones either.
How did they even win the match? I'm so confused.
It was a
Ian
capture the
News
flag.
Captain,
bull rushed the two off at the end of the scaffold and held them in the corner.
I saw that,
so
but I
that
didn't see Eaton
could
place
get
the flag.
and take it over to the other side.
Oh, I thought he had to
He got it.
place it. That's why I was confused.
No.
the
I'm
Ace
so
WCW camera crew totally missed the flag thing.
Well,
Yes.
totally.
So real quick, guys, we're gonna push now to 20 minutes 25 seconds, which is the beginning of the Diamond Stud and Tom Zink. During the conversion back to where everything should have been and putting the set back, there is an explanation as to why Ric Flair is not on the show and what the purpose of the main event is. Now, Brandy, did you
2025,
prepare-
you said?
Yeah, did you prepare a Tell Me Brandy for this?
I did.
And I'm assuming that covers that.
Tell me.
I stayed out of it because Henry said he talked about it a little bit, but I do have some notes about it. Yes.
Okay, well, Henry, I apologize, Henry, when you do eventually watch this again, that my internet blows and I can't get your segment in right at this second. So everyone, we're at 2025 and we're going to hit play in 3, 2, 1, and play.
Go Pats.
Go Pats!
There it is. I need to hear it from
Oh,
Anthony.
God.
Whenever anytime, I'm not Anthony. I am not kidding you. This is how much influence you've had on my life. Whenever I see a Go Pats anywhere, if I see a sign, anything that says Go Pats, I don't ever think of it any other way but with your voice at the end of your.
I agree.
Oh
I
my
wholeheartedly
God.
agree.
And it
forgot
started
what we're
it
looking at on
started
the
off
screen
so innocently.
I forgot what we're looking
Look
at.
how young he was. My God.
Not only how young he is, but look at that. And that's Diamond Dallas, like a Diamond Dallas page with every gimmick in the world and like the fanny packs. You got the half, it's not even quite a one-arm singlet type of deal. I don't know what it is. Jesus
It's
Christ.
an over thing, like because right now he's
My
doing a
God.
gimmick where they pull a woman from the crowd to remove the
Oh, that's right.
singlet thingy.
And of course,
I tried to wear that on my
1991.
wedding night.
1991, so we still have the wired microphone. which
Yep.
always gets me. Actually, the one that gets me the most is still in 1996 when they had the when Nash and Hall showed back up, and they pull the microphone off the desk, and it looks like it's wireless because they had wireless ones at that point. It was like, oh nope, here's a wire, and it's like, oh wow, quality production right there.
My favorite microphones, though, has to be the old school, like the MSG, the Howard Finkel microphone that comes down from, or even like Ken Anderson, who did a bit of a take on that with his Ken Kennedy gimmick that you can catch on last week's episode in the archives where we talk about Genesis 2011.
Okay, here we go. All right. See, I gotta be honest with you. I've never seen this entire shtick. That's Razor Ramon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now what the fuck? Titan.
But this is before. Remember?
Right. That's fucking Razor Ramon. What the hell what is Z-Man? He comes out with women too?
Yes.
What is this shit?
Yes, because Tom Zank's a good-looking man.
A very good.
Ask Tony Schiavone, for Christ's sakes.
Oh, Jesus.
Anthony, a question I'd like to ask as we watch the start of this match.
Z-Man is the number one stud.
Why did you pick this program for us to watch tonight? Great American Bash 1991. Did you attend it live, or what's the significance of this program to you and your wrestling fandom?
Significance of this was where I'm from. I didn't get WWE on pay-per-view until WrestleMania 4. So I had to watch the first 3 WrestleManias from the comfort and privacy of the Dunkin' Donuts Center, which I know Frank knows very well, on closed circuit TV. Would you believe it wasn't until this show that I was able to watch WCW pay-per-views? This was the first WCW show I ever saw. And this may come as a shock to you guys. I'm a big wrestling nerd. And of all my friends in the real world, outside of adfreeshows.com and outside of you guys, I'm the big wrestling fan. So I've been talking up WCW for years. And I watched the show. I'm like, guys, finally I got this thing on pay-per-view. You're going to love it. It's totally different. It's a sports-based. How's that sound? Does that sound familiar? Sports-based wrestling. They got Ric Flair. They got Barry Windham. They got Brian Pillman. And they all came over for this. And my heart sank.
Oh.
From the moment I saw that scaffold match, my little 19-year was I 19? I was still 19 years old. My heart sank.
All right, is it just me?
No, he froze.
No, it's the shitty Rhode Island internet.
Yeah,
Rhode Island. Are we allowed to curse on this show?
Of course we are.
I was gonna say like Paul Bromo says.
Yes.
Rhode
Okay.
Shitternet.
Have you never been on this show, Michael?
I don't typically curse,
but we do, like, constantly.
A lot.
You guys are all significantly. Sorry.
There you are. You're cutting in and out.
I know you guys are significantly younger than me, except. Sorry, can you got me now?
I got. Yeah.
I can see you guys pretty good, and I wanted you guys to see it because you guys are significantly younger than me, I assume. So if I had to suffer, you sons of bitches had to suffer. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, we are watching this program.
Well, Anthony, you and I are the closest in age. I mean, what, you got 8 years on me? 72? Were you born in 72?
Yeah, I'm 40. I'm almost 50.
Yeah, so I was born in 80.
Now, Phil, you lost. Okay, Phil. I mean, you lost your hair a long time ago, so you look a lot older probably than you are. When were you born?
What do you think? What do you think I am? Because I get so many varied answers on this question. How old do you think I am?
Okay, your voice sounds like you're in your early 30s, but physically you look like you're 72 years old. So I'm going to go in the midway and say you're about 42.
Well, you're definitely right with the the voice sounding early, but physically I'm in my 70s because I have 7 kids, so 10 years per child age. So actually, you're close. You're pretty close.
You have 7 kids?
Yes.
What the?
When we
met
Phil,
the same mother?
No,
Yeah,
no.
multiple
It's
mothers.
multiple mothers, totally. No, but this is a good heartwarming story. Phil's actually doing really good. So he has.
Oh,
7
yeah, I got to hear this one.
I'm a foster dad, so I have 3 daughters.
Oh,
and
okay.
4 foster children.
Okay, all right, that's different. Okay.
Yeah, Phil, I think that's awesome that you do that, and you probably don't even know, but you probably are changing the lives of those kids.
Also, mark this day down in history. That's 2 compliments I've given Phil.
God, you really are drunk, aren't you, James?
I'm
The
about to
fuck
be
is
fucking
going on?
hammered.
But
Good
you know,
thing my
while we're
wife doesn't
talking
watch the
about
show.
age here, I would like to point out at the time of this pay-per-view, I'm 3 years away from even being a thought because I was born in 1995.
You
I
need
hate
to
you.
shut the fuck up. Just shut up.
Yeah, shut up.
Just shut up. Just stop.
You're born.
And he's a fucking.
Jesus.
And he's a CP fucking A.
Money Mike, I was in college.
Yep, I was born
I was in college when
1995.
this show took place. I was a year away from meeting my wife.
Oh.
Now,
How old are you,
talk about-
Mike? I'm bad at math. You what? 26?
Yeah, I'm 26.
What's your actual date of birth?
July 30th.
1995.
1995.
Yeah.
4.
My marriage is older than you. Jesus, I hate you. I hate young people.
My marriage is older.
My
than
marriage
you.
is younger than you.
No,
Is older than you.
Thanks. Now I feel old because I met my wife. He was in grade school. When I married my wife, he was still in grade school.
I don't have a wife or a girlfriend.
No, but you have Bella.
I do have Bella. She's pretty damn cute.
Hey,
And Brandy, I'll have you in a
now,
week.
Frank, you have
So-
ex-wives, which
Go ahead. I'd like. Please tell me. I have ex-wives.
bear in mind, folks. Frank has two ex-wives, which means not only one but 2 women at one point in their life said, "Yeah, that's the guy I'm gonna grow up with."
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There it is. Yep. Good shit.
That joke just fell flatter than a pancake.
No, it didn't.
And
It
I'm
was-
that, folks.
Pat.
All gonna be gold here, folks.
I have to say, I'm really annoyed now that WWE sued WCW in '96 because they ripped WCW off in 1992.
Agreed.
Mhm.
And I feel bad that I just ruined this joke, but one of his ex-wives was the hot Asian, by the way, Anthony. In case you're curious.
Oh, I actually knew that. But again, I just like to make fun of people who've like Frank because of both, the ex-wives and his appearance. I'm only serious, Frank. You know that.
I'm surprised I don't have an ex-wife yet, to be honest.
Me too. My wife. I have no idea how my wife puts up with this. My wife right now can hear every word I'm saying in the other room. She's burying her face in her hands, going, "Jesus Christ! I just wanted some boring accountant type wife." No offense, Money Mike. I just wanted some boring accountant to marry, and look at the louse I ended up with. But God Almighty, the kid's got good hair, doesn't he?
Honestly, look at the accountant types because you have Frank and you have Money Mike and you have myself. I don't think
Wait a
we're that
minute.
boring.
Did you
Yeah,
see
we're
what?
not boring.
One, yay!
Did you see what he just did?
Yeah.
He went like this.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fuck you, Vince McMahon.
Oh,
The fuck
no,
outta
Bruce
here,
Pritchard
dude.
on Old Center Wrestle said, "My God, if WCW's lawyers were competent in the least, they would have countersued and shown this as evidence and won. But they just decided, nope, we're just going to settle and get rid of this thing."
So I want to ask a question stemming off that, because you look at even Hulk Hogan, you look at all these characters. I have a question. Is WWE good at creating characters, or are they good at expanding on already developed characters? Because you look at that even in the modern era with a Seth Rollins, with a Sami Zayn, they have a predetermined following, a Kevin Steen versus a Kevin Owens. So could we maybe go around the group and get everybody's input on that? I hope you don't mind the question, but it could be a good discussion point.
I actually want to answer that first.
Go ahead.
I think in this, 'cause they created Diesel, right? But what I'm seeing here right now, they clearly expanded upon Razor. They changed the name. I mean, did they develop a Ric Flair character? No, he was established. I mean, Hulkamania was WWF, right? They developed
No,
Hulk
but
Hogan,
didn't he do something with Hulk Hogan in the AWA in Minneapolis first?
was there a Hulkamania in AWA?
There might not have been, but
Hulkamania was established in at least 1982 in Vern Gagne's AWA.
All right, there you go. So I didn't know that.
I didn't. That's why I wanted to ask it, because I knew there were some roots.
Oh my God, folks!
It's us. Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry to interrupt. We're about to see the entrance of the Almighty Oz, the great and powerful.
Hey, let's track this shit. Here, I got this.
Track it, please.
I'm having flashbacks of my senior year in high school because that was a musical production we did.
Oz or the Wizard of Oz?
The Wizard of Oz.
Listen to that music. The Pyro, man, he had badass WWF 97 entrance before
that
they
beard looks like, in the spirit of the holidays, it looks like a Santa Claus beard.
Oh, just wait till he gets closer. Just wait.
That's what I'm.
Big human being, and the great wizard. There he comes. They make quite a unique pair.
Who the hell is the Great Wizard?
Looks like a cross between a this is a weird analogy that Brandy will get, and Frank, you'll get it because you're both Harry Potter fans. It looks like a cross between a bad Santa Claus and a Dumbledore ripoff.
Thank you.
That's Kevin Sullivan.
Yes, that's definitely Kevin.
Wait, that's Kevin Sullivan?
And actually, I think
that's Kevin Sullivan.
That's
wearing a rubber mask.
Not to be mean, but you know what? The only thing that could improve the Oz character is if a house would have fallen out of the sky on it.
Wow.
Wait until he takes the hat off. Wait.
Yeah.
Right. While they're doing this, the previous pay-per-view was Super Bowl 91 when this guy debuted as Oz. They actually had a Dorothy, Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Cowardly Lion character walk from the ring to the stage, acting all scared, and they had some guy in the background. Please welcome the great and powerful Oz. It was awful, but I loved it. God, this was my jam. God, pro wrestling, I love it.
Hey,
can I ask you guys a question while we're doing this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, shoot.
I'm a rarity in some respects that I have never ever wavered being a wrestling fan. When I was 8 years old, I turned the TV on, discovered wrestling, and from that day on, have been a huge fan. Did any of you guys like that? Or did you guys take a break at some point in your lives?
I never really took a break. There were points where, if I could go first, I started in 2008 from a video game, the SmackDown vs. Raw video game, and then
My life hurts.
And I started watching.
The year I graduated high school.
And I started watching wrestling in 2008. And I'll be honest, there were times, like, say, when I went to college, I didn't follow it as much, like, on a week-to-week basis. But I would keep up with the pay-per-view results, and I would keep up with the Raw results. I was always checking in. So my fandom never really wavered. And then if you guys want to talk about your experience, the last thing I'll say with mine, and I think, Anthony, you'll understand this. Did you have a family member, Anthony, that you watched a lot of wrestling with, or was there a family member that you spent a lot of time watching wrestling with? Because for me, it was my late grandmother, so that's one thing that I always go back to, is the bond that I built with her over the 5 core years of my fandom was watching every Raw, every SmackDown, every pay-per-view of her. Because, I mean, she lived with us till she passed away, so it was one of those things, like, it helped me build a bond with her, which I'm very, very grateful for. And I know people on the platform have heard that before, but I always like to talk about it whenever I talk about how my fandom got started.
Fucking Merlin the Wizard. Sorry.
I discovered wrestling on my own, but my grandfather was a huge fan. So me and my grandfather spent a lot of time at his little place watching wrestling. So, yeah. In fact, when I was in college, our favorite show together was Primetime Wrestling. Not for the wrestling, but for Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan's, interaction. He would he would literally record every single episode of Primetime Wrestling, and he would have my mother mail the tapes to me so I could watch them from my dorm room.
That is so sweet,
That's
and that is such a
adorable.
cool
Hey,
story.
Since we're kind of
I've
digging
o-
back, go ahead.
I've only cried at one funeral, and it was my grandfather's.
Since we're digging back a little bit in Anthony and your background here, something we like to do on Top Guy Theater is get to know our guest and try to get questions out there from Twitter. And I did pull this question from Twitter for you. You do have one here. I'm gonna go and pop it out here. Let's see if see what you got here. So, at Cobalicious wants to know, Anthony, with your Patriots fandom well established, I'm curious, how is your erotic Pats fan fiction coming along? Also, what's it like giving Tom Brady a reach around?
Well, first of all, let me talk about the erotic fan fiction. It's I cannot do justice. I can't. No, and that's a great question. I want to thank whoever sent that. I want to thank you for that.
Mike Cole.
Oh, it's Mike Cole.
Mike Kolb, hey Mike, hey, look, I'm happy Mike Kolb could piece together a sentence on his computer. Thank God for spell check. But Mike Kolb, as much as I want to write Patriot erotic fan fiction, I would like to direct you to Amazon to the best-selling novel, A Gronking to Remember, which
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
I bought. A Gronking to Remember.
This is a real thing, everybody. This is not.
My wife.
For those who
You
think
need
we're
to go to
joking. This is real.
your Amazon.
All right,
and
guys,
look it up.
I'm gonna move my. You guys see the background of all those books?
Yeah.
Not a single goddamn one of them are mine because my wife's the avid reader. So we'll sit here in our lovely palatial estate in Riverside, Rhode Island. She'll feed me grapes. My kids will rub my feet and get my paper. But we like to read our books. Now, my wife will read Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. She will read, Jane Eyre. She will read Shakespeare. Me, I read A Gronking to Remember, which is a beautiful love story of
my God.
a woman who finds her husband watching football, doesn't understand, and sees this mountain of a man scoring touchdowns and spiking the ball, and she fantasizes of Rob Gronkowski spiking items off of her butt, like a bouquet of flowers, a diamond ring, a pizza. So yes, I would love nothing more than to write erotic fan fiction.
Well,
now your second question, Michael, what's it like to give Tom Brady a reach around? I don't know yet because I am still, and this is I'm going to share with you guys. This is exclusive to Top Guy Theater and Total Gimmick Talk. I don't like to talk about this in public, but I'm going to do it for you guys. I'm currently transitioning into, a female, not because I want an alternative lifestyle, but because I'm still young enough to carry Tom Brady's children. So I am hoping, and bear in mind, I'm gonna, once I get the transition operation, I'm gonna shave this beard. I'm gonna let the hair grow even longer. I'm gonna be the sexiest bitch any of you guys have ever seen. I'm gonna move from being the sexiest man of Rhode Island to being the sexiest woman of Rhode Island. And I'll tell you something, if I'm gonna try to figure out how to carry Tom Brady's children, and yes, folks, and if you're not watching this, Frank Bruno's head is in his hands right now. He has no idea what the hell to say. So, Michael, there's the answer. I cannot write better fan fiction than A Grind to Remember. And B, I'm currently transitioning so that I can, in fact, carry the children of Tom Brady. And
wasn't going to ask.
A reach around.
Can I read an excerpt from said book? Would that be interesting to all?
Please do. I would love it. Yes, please.
So Rob Gronkowski at the 2015 Super Bowl was asked by Toucher and Rich, and I remember I was listening because I was doing a lot of commuting at that point still. So I was listening to Toucher and Rich more often, pre-ad-free shows. And they asked Rob Gronkowski to read a passage from the book. And he read the following. And in front of the entire country, Gronk's spike impacts right between my butt cheeks.
Come on.
That's a line.
James, do me a favor. Could you say it slower with a little more eroticness in your voice?
Yeah, wait. Give me just 1 second here.
Oh Jesus!
Hold that thought for just about
Okay.
30 seconds before you read that, because
No,
we need to do
that's
this.
too much time. I'm going to be done, cleaned up in the bathroom.
All right,
Well,
you
I
have to do this right.
wasn't going to say anything
All right,
because I
here
thought
we
it
go.
would be too crude. But
All right.
now that I see the direction this conversation went in, it's the
Hang
title.
on, I gotta get comfortable with this.
All right,
It's the title.
Dave, in a count of 5, go ahead
ahead.
and start reading to us.
All right.
Hi, this is Ron Jeremy. You're listening to Porno
And in front of the entire country, Gronk reaches up, grabs that beautiful pass from Tom Brady, gets in the end zone, prepares to get his spike, and his spike impacts right between what cheeks.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so my fandom.
Guys, for the record, my wife wants to know what the hell I'm doing right now.
You were just talking about a transition, and you said she can hear you in the other room. Is this new, sir? His shirt is off. If you're listening to this on a pod.
Oh my god!
And if you aren't watching the show with
is
us,
so hot. I'm sorry, guys.
legend
I actually can't wait to see if I can.
Ron Simmons
Frank,
has
I'll
lost
even
the
I'll
man
even
called
volunteer to post produce that for you.
Oh wow. So
Well,
my
I wasn't
fandom.
Well,
Plus,
I wasn't going to ask.
You know,
this
bear in mind,
question,
a lot of the top gals are watching this, so I'm kind of hoping to,
Amy, if you're watching, he'll slide into your DMs.
Oh, and speaking of Amy, I got to talk. I want to call out T-Rob right now. Top Guy Weekend. He and I finally settled. We're supposed to settle our differences once and for all with a good old-fashioned thumb wrestling match. And that son of a bitch, I know for a fact that he loaded up his thumb with some performance-enhancing drugs. So on the goddamn party bus, on the way, he apparently allegedly defeated me for the hand of Amy. But I'm not conceding defeat right then and there. Because I know he cheated. I want a drug test, and I know that son of a bitch is not going to pass any type of drug test for performance-enhancing drugs, even right now, because he's getting ready for a rematch. Amy, if you're listening, hopefully you're watching, because see this bare shoulder.
I don't know if anybody caught the
yeah.
Tony Schiavone that was going on in the background there, but question for Tony Schiavone next time we talk to him: when was he dyeing his hair blonde?
While we're on this
top 10.
While we're on this topic, we're gonna push to the next match. Your time code is 1 hour, 8 minutes, 8 seconds.
And I just came up with the best question.
Hold on, I know Antonio's not here, but we're gonna skip over Terry Reynolds in whatever she was called in this era. I think
Yes, we are.
York.
Yeah, we're gonna skip over it.
Wait a minute,
Alexandra York.
That's it. I couldn't
So
remember.
1 hour, 7 minutes, and 8 seconds, right?
Oh, never mind.
10808. 10808.
She's all covered up. That's not going to help.
And
anybody.
I thought of the best question in the history of Top Guy Theater, and I want to circle back to the Patriots erotic fan fiction for 1 second. Is the title of the fan fiction "Deflated Balls"?
Oh, that was really good. Holy shit. All right.
Well, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
I mean, you can say whatever you want. I mean, you're fucking a Buffalo Bills fan, man.
All right, hold on, guys. Let's do the 3, 2, 1 play. All right, let's go. Are we
Sorry,
all there?
what's the time code again? 148.
10808.
Oh, 108.
I'm there. We're good.
All right.
Anthony, are you good?
All right, I'll do the countdown. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll do the countdown.
Whenever you're ready.
5 go Pats, 4 go Pats, 3 go Pats, 2 go Pats, 1 go Pats, go!
And we're gonna. All right, let me answer the original question before shirts came off and we talked about spiking things in butt cheeks. Okay. My fandom never ended. I have just had an issue with WWE during the pandemic, so I've shifted a lot of my attention to AEW. But I was always
Oh, hell yeah.
I was a massive WWE fan. My first WCW pay per view I ever saw was Starrcade '93.
Huge.
Yeah, no.
Huge.
But I
like
did not watch
10
WCW.
inches
Thank you,
around.
Chloe. Thank you. Yeah, he's getting all sexy. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. We'll go to let's keep our clothes on. Please. Someone else
I'm
introduce.
fully dressed. I'm fully clothed now.
Frankie,
now-
you remember.
Frank.
I took a brief break in my fandom when I was part of the religious cult. So I was out from like 2008 to 2009-ish.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Just because you told us the story, it is like you have to admit, like looking back, there is some funny parts of the story.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And Brandy, I want to hear every single detail this next week when we're at the when we're at the Patriot Hall of Fame and we're bar hopping throughout Patriot Place. So next week, I have fully intention to hear this entire cult story. I've always thought of myself as a cult leader. I've always wanted to be a cult leader. I think of myself as like a Manson without the murder.
Well, we all know of all.
I mean,
the
as
people
long
on
as the
this
cult's
call,
about
I'm the one
drinking
with the
beer,
cult of
I'm in.
personality.
So I think that's another Top Guy theater exclusive.
I know it's in a Cumbies cup, but this is not Cumbies.
Carla, where are you from exactly?
I live currently in Grafton, Massachusetts. I did not
Does you get
realize
that?
that you were.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were from Riverside. I am originally from Fall River, so I'm back.
Get out of here!
Yeah.
Wow. So you learned how to read?
I live now in Grafton, so I moved. Yeah, I moved up here.
Yeah, but you when you were in Fall River, you learned how to read?
Yes, I did.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy.
You know why? Yeah, I could tell you. I could tell. You know, and I have the proof because I don't live there anymore. Right? I got out. Most people don't get out. I got out.
Congratulations.
Yeah, right. I can just go back to visit now. I don't have to actually stay there.
I was once in a bar. This is going back about 15 years ago in Fall River.
St. James Pub.
You know, what's that?
That's my guess.
St. James honestly, Pub. I forget where it was. It was not. I was not at Big Dan's that night. I was not at Big Dan's, but there was a certain former Boston College, former UNLV basketball player who was not in good shape from Fall River, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to get in trouble.
But I'm telling you, the restaurant. It was TK O'Malley's because that was still existed then, and that.
Yep.
Athletes are where that's where they went.
Yes. I didn't realize you were a Fall River boy. God bless you.
Yes. Yes.
You still, I can't say it.
That's all right. That's why I know what happens at the Portuguese steak restaurant, right? You go. So, Frank, I know we completely glossed over this, and I will answer Money Mike's question after I tell you about the steak because I want to finish.
Oh, I don't mind.
From before.
I love these stories.
So,
by the way. Anthony,
if
you're a great storyteller.
This is what you guys should do, the three of you, because you're gonna get together. Instead of worrying about going to Federal Hill or whatever, go to Fall River, go to Academica in Fall River, and get yourself a nice $15 plate because that's all it costs. But let me tell you, it was fucking delicious. You're gonna get a plate where the entire plate, like about that wide, the steak will cover the entire plate. It'll cover the entire plate, and then on the plate they're going to give you French fries and rice because one starch is not enough. The only vegetable you'll get is this thin little pepper strip that they're going to put over it, and of course the little fried eggs. You got to throw those on there too. Outstanding.
I would consider it. However, I would prefer. Now this is crazy. I'm just going to say this out. I'm going to think this out loud. I would love to take Brandy to Fall River and show her, the Portuguese lifestyle. I like her too much to allow her to be gang raped.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, it depends where you go, right? Academica, you're probably safe. You can't go to you can't
Big Dan's. Say it.
You can't go to Big Dan's. You can't go to Ponta Delgada. You can't go there. That still happens, unfortunately.
Did you guys ever see The Accused, starring Jodie Foster and Kelly McGillis?
Yes.
No. Okay. Mike, you see that? I know that's like 20 years before
Mike
you
hasn't seen many movies, so we don't count his views on movies.
He doesn't like the Goonies.
That
The
incident.
Goonies is overrated, so get over yourself.
Thank you, James.
What? Oh
Thank
my
you.
God.
Thank you,
That
James.
movie is based upon an incident that occurred in Fall River, Massachusetts.
The Goonies is?
No.
No, The Accused.
The
with
Accused.
Jodie
Oh.
Foster.
No, not the Goonies. God damn you!
So to
Wait,
I'm
answer,
gonna plug in my
wait.
damn phone. Hold on.
go ahead.
The Accused, is that? Do I know what that incident is? I think I know what it is. Is this the one where the girl goes into a bar to get cigarettes and she gets?
No, that's the start of the last porn you watched.
Oh boy.
I think it also is the start of The Accused, but
Yes.
Wait, doesn't she get raped by everybody and then?
correct.
Yeah.
She gets but not, I wouldn't say everybody, but it's like 5 guys,
Yeah.
including the
Hey,
biggest
hey, hey,
D-bag
wait,
in recorded human history. I don't know who the actor's name was.
Hey, hell, did those 5 guys then go on to make a chain of burger restaurants?
Oh boy.
Oh Jesus, guy.
Oh, Frank, get rid of him. He's done. He's done.
You know,
Wow.
my son tried to tell me a dad joke today, and at first it took me a second, but then I realized like why he couldn't find it funny, and I probably shouldn't find it funny. What is the most awkward time to fly? 9:12.
What is? I don't know.
Oh my god.
He goes,
that's
I said
terrible.
that to mom and she didn't laugh, and I don't know why. And I was like, yeah.
That's a horrible joke.
Yeah. 9 years old, boys and girls. That's what they're learning. So now
Good
I
for
brought
that, but
the
he's learning
stage
the
down-
dirty stuff.
That's it. Now that I brought the stage down, Money Mike,
All
to
right,
answer your
or-
question.
wait, hold on a second.
Go ahead.
I don't get it.
What?
9/12, the
The
day
day after
9/11.
9/11.
Oh, okay. He said it was a dirty joke, so.
No, I said it was
No.
a dad joke.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't a dad joke. It was a bad joke.
There it
Agreed.
is.
I didn't say it was good.
I just do the puns because I know Brandy likes them.
True story.
Yes, but I'm also easily entertained.
So for me, I was watching wrestling because my dad was watching Superstars on the weekend, and with the cloud theme that came in and everything, with the WWF logo floating on the cloud or whatever
Oh,
the deal
yeah.
was.
The World Wrestling Federation.
yes.
For over 50 years, the revolutionary force in sports entertainment.
So
What the world is watching.
Hey,
So
that's
I-
not a joke.
I know that was the joke. Anyway, but it's seriously, that's what my dad was watching, and that was the intro. But it didn't hook me until I saw The Undertaker, Tombstone, Hulk Hogan on a chair with Ric Flair, and I was just like, "Damn, I gotta watch this." I was like, and then like vividly in my mind, it's like, "It's Tuesday, we're in Texas," and I'm like, "Oh my god, this pay-per-view gives me flashbacks." But like, that's the stuff I remember like the most of when I probably was hooked.
Low key, that was a great show.
I took a break in 2002-ish, and when I went to college, I didn't watch it as much during college, and I didn't really keep up with the pay-per-views, so I missed out on a bunch of things. And then in 2007, when I was out of college, I kind of just watched here and there a couple of the major pay-per-views, but I really wasn't following along until like 2012, 2013, and I came back around. I think once my kid was born and my firstborn, I decided that I needed something to do because I'm going to be stuck in the house, and I started watching sort of more religiously. But then I've since stopped watching WWE. I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown
I think Brandy's sleeping.
for the last 6 months,
No, I'm
and
still awake.
that's a first in like 8 years. So for me, this is like it's a tough break. But I've been watching AEW religiously.
Mine's really simple. I never stopped. I never had a break in wrestling. Next door neighbor.
That's
when I was
true. You never did have a break in wrestling.
Yep.
Ever.
I tried. I really tried. I actually tried to get in as the 4th member of the Shield, but it just didn't work.
Wait, were you the third man in NWO too? Were you
I was
proposed?
also I tried,
Okay.
but I didn't have my driver's license. So Eric Bischoff said I couldn't drive the Hummer.
Oh,
No, he was the original. Phil was the original gobbledygooker.
Damn it.
Guys, do you want a horrible story?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
That's
a
what
horrible
we're all
view.
about.
Go ahead.
and
horrible
Frozen
I got to
Screen.
tell you a story about my wife.
Oh yes.
boy.
Uh-oh.
No, this is bad. This is bad. This is really bad.
Oh no.
I was married. I was married on June 24th, 1995. One of the greatest days of my life. One of those my wedding was fantastic. The ambulance only came once, and that's a true story. Brandy, I'll tell you the whole story next week.
Did you have a
So the
nacho
next
cheese
morning,
fountain?
the next morning, we wake up at our hotel room at the Comfort Inn at Green Airport. We fly out to Orlando. Now we get to the hotel. You know, it's our first full day as a married couple. Frank, you've done this twice. You know what the hell's going on. You know what married couples generally do on their honeymoon? Oh, if you were saying watch King of the Ring 1995 at the hotel bar, the answer is freaking yes. I don't want to say I don't want to say I made my wife. I don't want to say I made her do it. But yes, there is a rumor, a completely true rumor, that on June 25th, 1995, the night after our beautiful wedding, where, like I said, the ambulance only came once, I made her sit in a hotel bar while they pirated King of the Ring 1995, which is only the second worst pay-per-view after the one that we are currently watching.
Wow.
We
I don't think
watched.
this is the worst pay-per-view ever.
I have to ask this question, Anthony.
95
Is your wife a
was that
wrestling
Mabel, by the way?
fan?
Yeah.
What's that?
Is your wife a wrestling fan at all, or has she become a wrestling fan through you, or does she not like wrestling?
My wife despises wrestling and everything it stands for. There is absolutely no scenario upon which I could make her watch wrestling. She would rather die than watch wrestling.
Wow, she hates
So,
wrestling more
yeah.
than my wife.
So real quick, if I
Yeah.
could just chime in here real quick. See, this is one of the things that irritates me, is they're happily married. My ex-wife despised wrestling, couldn't stand it. It's one of the reasons she didn't want to be married to me anymore.
That's it? That's the only reason she want to be married to you? But guys, let me get my pad. I can name about 9 reasons why I wouldn't have been married to Frank Bruno. Just kidding, love you.
Well, I mean, she did also enjoy the pleasure of other men, and that kind of stuff. But
those are minor details, though.
Minor shit. Minor shit.
Yeah, I found out that rare white unicorn wife that loves wrestling, is okay with my video game habit, and loves my shitty jokes.
Is that racist to call unicorn white?
Oh boy, don't go there. Oh, God. I can't with the racist crap
I was
right
kidding.
now.
Come on.
Oh my God! No! No, it was hilarious what you said, but given some of the group chats I've been in, for Christ's sakes, I can't.
It was a unicorn.
I
It was
know.
not a real person, being, entity.
So, Anthony, I have a follow-up question as we're talking about wrestling and all that kind of stuff. With your fandom stretching for as long as it has, how do you think that you've maintained it as, say, the product has evolved? Because it kind of went from, say, the 80s very cartoonish to the Attitude Era to Ruthless Aggression to modern day. So how do you think that they've managed to keep you as a fan? Is it more nostalgia-driven, or are you really a fan of the current environment of, say, a WWE and an AEW? Because I know you've attended some shows live recently, if you want to even touch on those experiences as well.
I still watch SmackDown every Friday, or I DVR and watch Saturday morning. And I watch Monday Night Raw for as long as I can stay awake, and that's not an indictment on the show itself, even though the show is not very good, but I watch it until I have to fall asleep at night. Until about 5 years ago, I honestly always lived under the notion that WWE wrote their program for me specifically. As an 11-year-old boy, so when I was 8 years old, I wanted that all-American babyface superhero, and they gave me Bob Backlund. When I was 11 or 12, I wanted like the larger-than-life character. They gave me Hulk Hogan. At 20, I wanted a little more adult tinge. They gave me The Undertaker. At 25, I wanted something more spectacular, and they gave me Shawn Michaels. until a couple of years ago, I always felt as though they were writing that program, that story for me. And my loyalty to them does not waver, but God, I wish they would just get a lot better what the hell it was that they're doing, because they're not. Yeah, it's sad to see what they're becoming, but at the end of the day, Disney might have a shitty ride that they bring up, but I'm still going to go to Disney. I'm still going to see it. Marvel might have a bad movie. I'm still going to go see it. That's how I am.
While we were going down memory lane there and watching Evil Uno jump off the top rope and hit Goldust, I did find another Twitter question for you, sir.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah,
and if
absolutely.
this is Evil Uno, that's got to be like Evil Uno's like skinny twin or something. I mean, I'm no spring chicken, but Jesus Christ.
By the way, this 6-man tag team match was clearly the absolute best match on the whole show.
Yep.
It was an elimination match, which was great.
Yeah.
So I found this question on Twitter, which is rare that we get more than one actual question on this show. So let me go in and throw this at you, Anthony. Comalicious wants to know, Anthony, what the hell is up with the volume of your voice? Did you deep throat a megaphone on a dare in grade school, or was your mom banging Jimmy Hart?
Well, no, my mother did not bang Jimmy Hart. I took my mother back in 88, 89. I took her she took me to the Dunkin' Donuts Center to see wrestling, and I tried to get her to give Rick Rude the old-fashioned rude awakening. You guys know what the hell I'm talking about. And it's very possible, people tend to block things out when trauma happens. Possibly, me and Rick Rude were backstage. I'm not going to say it didn't happen. I'm not going to say it did happen, but there may have been some, there may have been some blank going on. So yeah, did I deep throat Rick Rude? Possible, very possible. You notice how I don't shy from this and say things like, "Oh God, no, I would never do something like that." Hey, if it's Rick, listen, I'm a modern man.
He's the anti-money Mike right there.
Exactly. Yep. Look, if Tom Brady, Rick Rude, if Tom Brady, Mac Jones, Rick Rude, Derek Jeter came to me and said, like, "Hey, Anthony, I'm sorry, I gotta get this out, and you're the closest guy to me. Let's go." I'd have to go like, you know what? It's Tom Brady, Rick Rude. Yeah, it's all good.
I would like to point out I have a wild side too.
Hey, weren't you at a strip club in the last episode?
No,
yes,
no,
yes, he
no,
was.
That was the
yes,
casino.
he was.
I
Yes,
was
he was.
filming
Everybody
on location at the casino
at the strip club. If it's Tom Brady, I probably would be in the same position as Anthony. I don't have.
Hey, I find Peyton Manning attractive. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, we gotta have a talk about that.
Look, at Top Guy Weekend, I share a room with Coach Rosie. He was fast asleep one night, and I'm like,
I'm sorry.
It's a goddamn good-looking man. It is what it is. I'm a modern guy. Whatever happens, happens.
No. I draw the line at Peyton Manning. That's a line.
He's a good-looking guy.
Dude,
is he Derek Jeter? Is he Derek Jeter? God, no, he's not.
He has a target on his forehead. Is that why you get excited by it? I mean, you could paint the thing up there and just fucking shoot away.
Come on, guys.
He's a good look. I think he's a good-looking man. I'm sorry, Money Mike, Phil, Frank, and James. I'm sorry if I don't find you sexually attractive. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I don't.
Well, we all know the best-looking WWF wrestler of all time was IRS, who I just happen to look a lot like.
God, yeah, all right. Real quick, guys, because we definitely have to keep talking about this. We're gonna move forward to Nikita and Sting.
Wait, we're not gonna watch Johnny Be Bad?
Get out of here!
Well, here comes Johnny Be Bad.
I forgot how much makeup that he wore.
So let's jump to 2 hours, 2 minutes, 3 seconds, please. Let me know when you're all there.
I'm there.
2 hours.
I'm sorry, if you're going to be waiting for us to be all there, we're not ever going to have that happen.
Well, all there. See, well, I mean, apparently, Anthony and Coach Rosie, Anthony heard when Coach Rosie was there, if you know what I mean. So,
Oh, Coach. By the way, Top Guy, wait, Coach Rose and I were scared to absolute death because we were rooming with Sonny, and that dude has sleep apnea in the worst possible way. We thought he was going to die. We thought he was going to die.
Rooming with who?
You know the guy who brought me Sonny Chase?
Oh, okay, yeah.
What the fuck is?
Yeah.
All right, is everybody there?
I'm there. I'm there.
What was the
We're
second?
staring at a picture of a mom cradling her terrified son after hearing that story about Coach and Anthony in the hotel room, right?
What was the seconds clock here?
03.
03. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, may I do the intro?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Because there's a lot of money riding on this, so I got to make sure I can do this right. 5 Go Pats, 4 Go Pats, 3 Go Pats, 2 Go Pats, 1 Go Pats, Go Pats.
I think. Oh crap! Hey, you're gonna have to wire me about $80 to replace these speakers that you just blew in my ear.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me check my bookie first. See if
He
I'm
just
ahead.
always forgets to end it. It's Go Pats to Buffalo so you can lose to the Bills.
Listen, Mike, let me explain something to you. The Pats are never, ever going to lose to the Buffalo Bills. Never going to happen. There was this one time. I swear to God, I drove to Buffalo to go see the game. I drove through Buffalo. I had some beer, some Buffalo wings. I walked into this bar. I forget the goddamn name of it. I ran into House Ballard. I said, House, how you doing, buddy? And he goes, nothing. What's up with you? And I said, nothing, baby. Pats are going to win. Do you agree? Friggin' House Ballard believed the Pats were going to beat the Bills. I guess we did that weekend. One time. That was 2003 when you had Drew Bledsoe, who, God almighty,
the lawyer.
You had Drew Bledsoe. He showed up. He beat the Pats 31 to absolutely freaking nothing. Okay?
That was
God
the
bless you.
Game.
That was a Lawyer Malloy game. Yeah. How'd that season end? You know that regular season ended? We played the Buffalo Bills in Week 17, beat them 31 nothing.
Hey,
We did. We took. Listen, no. I'm talking now.
Do you know what's better than this? Sting's theme song.
We took Doug Flutie. We pulled his pants down. We took Drew Bledsoe. I'm sorry. We took Drew Bledsoe. We pulled his little pants down. We put him over on the can't act like this. And then we went on to win the goddamn Super Bowl. Woo! Go Pats!
All right. Do we want to do Tell Me Brandy? Brandy, are you ready for that?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give myself a colon cleansing after this.
I know a guy.
All right. Here you go. Let's play the Tell Me Brandy intro, and it's all you, girl.
All right, so there were two major storylines that were going on in the news, in the headlines, as we come up to Great American Bash 91. The first was the Dr. Zahorian steroid trial. That was huge. I mean, Meltzer couldn't keep his mouth shut. I know that happens all the time, but he really could not keep his mouth shut about this. And of course, there was also the eventual firing of Ric Flair from WCW, which was effective immediately July 1st, 1991. The Dr. Zahorian trial kicked off on June 24th, 91 in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It was also reported in the June 24th edition of The Observer that the World Bodybuilding Federation, the WWF's WBF, had their first event. So, yay.
Wait, so the WBF was the WWF's BFF?
Yes.
Correct.
And it
Love
was
the
also
wordplay, Phil.
reported that prior to the latest Clash of Champions, the WCW higher-ups were greatly reducing the TV exposure of Dusty Rhodes, who was also the booker at the time. They felt that he was pushing himself too much on television. And this also factored in with the issues with Ric Flair. It was just the whole thing that they bungled with Ric Flair, because with the steroid trial, with everybody having to change direction with the product, if they had been able to come to an agreement with Flair, that they could have pulled ahead of the WWF in this time period, as opposed to whenever Eric Bischoff took over and got that one going. But Jim Herd is an idiot. It was also reported in the July 1st edition that John Arezzi was planning, I believe it was the very first wrestling convention, which took place August 24th and 25th in New York. The first set of guests were Buddy Rogers, superstar Billy Graham, Lou Thez, and Paul E. Dangerously. Dan Spivey was let go or fired from WCW. Reportedly, he refused to do the job for PN News, but this was very suspect because it came within about a week or so of him testifying that he had purchased steroids and other medications from Dr. Zahorian and testified in the trial. Eric Bischoff replaced Lance Russell on the syndicated WCW Pro Wrestling show, so he officially became a C-Squad announcer. Those GWF debuts on ESPN on July 8th. And Duke Keamuka passes away back on June 30th, who is known back in the 60s and 70s as one of the stereotypical Asian salt-throwing heels. Now, as we actually get into this show, it was highly affected by the loss of Ric Flair, and if you listen to the show with audio, you're going to hear many chants of "We want Flair," "Dusty sucks," and nobody gave this show a thumbs up. 239 people, which was 99.2%, gave the show a thumbs down, and 2 people, or 0.8%, gave it a thumbs in the middle.
All right, so we can take that Dave Meltzer opinion and
Pretty much. The best match was Barry Windham versus Lex Luger, and the worst match was, of course, the scaffold match.
Yeah. Wait, the scaffold match didn't get 5 stars?
No, that got negative 3.5 stars.
That scaffold match went wrong. You probably would have some 5-star injuries, but I don't think a scaffold match will ever be 5 stars.
So if it were in the Tokyo Dome,
No.
or if it were in the little Tokyo Dome,
No, nothing could save that scaffold match. That was bad.
No, that match was bad. I mean, the only good scaffold match would be if they did one with Charlotte and Becky Lynch and had me running underneath to catch Charlotte when she falls like her tree.
Oh my God.
Real quick, Anthony, I was not able to hear you when you spoke.
What I was, I forgot what I was going to say.
There you are. I hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
you're good. We got you now.
I was going to say that, imagine a match featuring Bobby Eaton and Steve Austin being negative 3.5 stars. That's crazy.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
The match was freaking hard.
The match was horrible. Unfortunately, they were constrained by the surface that they were on, and they were harbingered by PN News and the fact that there was absolutely zero storyline going into this match.
Well, and that just goes to show you that the booking. Oh, go ahead.
PN News. He's on the attack. Let the sucker in here. He'll put them on their back. Yo, baby, yo, baby, yo!
Wow.
So real quick, I'm gonna try map it one more time because I feel bad. So let me try it, and we'll see what happens. Just give me a sec. Let's see.
Yo ho ho!
Hey!
Blow me down!
Is that better?
Na 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 na. Kitty Hawk, USS Kitty Hawk. This is NAVCOM Space Doctor. Roger, over.
Okay. So we have gone back in time to visit with Henry, who was on location at the Map It Man porn sessions. Although you were telling me, Henry, that you were someone asked to take a picture with you today, so you're getting a little famous, are you? Huh?
I am getting a little famous. I'm actually inside in fabulous Jersey City, New Jersey, as part of my trip.
You said
to
fabulous in Jersey City in the same sentence, you silly bastard. Go ahead.
I kept going with New Jersey. It got worse. As part of my part of my annual November trip to New York for the Anime NYC. It's one of the biggest anime conventions, I'd say, in the world, and it's probably the biggest in New York City. But I digress for just a moment. The Great American Bash 1991 is better remembered not for what's in it, but for what's not here. It takes place from the Baltimore Arena in Baltimore, Maryland, which probably fabulous fits that better more than Jersey City, on July 14th, 1991, to a crowd of 9,320 people. This is the 7th Great American Bash event hosted by World Championship Wrestling. It is, however, the first to be hosted without the National Wrestling Alliance. By this point, the NWA had become sort of a paper tiger, and that WCW controlled all of its belts, and effectively WCW was the only member. The show, though, as we see, and I'll let everybody in on a secret because I'm on location. I can't actually see what Frank sees as we're doing this.
Well, so what I'm seeing right now is a very young Jim Ross and a Tony Schiavone
that knows how to dress himself.
Well, he's got what looks like he's got blonde hair and it's long. It's weird.
And he knows how to dress himself. I wish he could figure out how to do that now. But anyway, the main event for this pay-per-view ends up being Lex Luger and Barry Windham for the vacant WCW World Heavyweight title, which we represent here with a big gold belt. 2 weeks before this pay-per-view, we all know the story. WCW Executive Vice President Jim Herd, in one of his better decisions, makes the call to fire Ric Flair without cause. And 90 days later, he would show up with this belt on WWF television because Ric Flair, for all effective purposes, owned the physical belt that represented the NWA World's Heavyweight title. Dave Meltzer said of this show, and I know that there are going to be members of our cast, Phil, who are probably going to shit on me for this, but he said something at the beginning here that I kind of agree with as he talks about the Great American Bash in the July 22nd, 1991 edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Quote, "I really don't know what else can be said. I'm not sure it was the worst pay-per-view show in company history, although for quality of matches, it surely was. They have gone way too far in the wrong direction. To WCW's credit, they knew and were worried about a protest scene because of all the unhappiness regarding how the Flair situation was handled. Nevertheless, they didn't try to confiscate banners going into the building. And the We Want Flair chant would get going, and it wouldn't be stopped." Now, I ad-libbed part of that. If you actually want to read it, pay Dave Meltzer your money. I'm not going to shill for him here. But 2 weeks before that, in talking about the firing of Ric Flair, he talks about how it's the end of an era and the dawning of a new era, because it seemed like World Championship Wrestling dropped the ball on one of their biggest, most well-known, and most well-paid stars in an effort to try to get him to take a pay cut and maybe move down the card to begin moving people up. Now, many people have told their side of the story as to what happened. Jim Herd's even told this story in his conversation with Conrad Thompson that's available over on the Ad Free Shows Network. So I'll tell you what I personally really think. I think Ric Flair didn't want to move down the card. I think Ric Flair wanted to stay where he was and keep making money. Dave Meltzer speculated that he wanted guaranteed money because he was preparing to open up a gym in Charlotte, North Carolina. And the incident of firing Ric Flair created and generated a lot of negative press because short of Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair may very well have been the most well-known wrestler in the world in July of 1991 when he got fired by WCW. And unfortunately, the show that got put together without Ric Flair, well, let's be perfectly honest with ourselves. This show probably wouldn't have been better even with Ric Flair in it, but we would probably speak more highly of it
Maybe
than
a little
we do now if Ric Flair wrestles Lex Luger for the World Heavyweight title here instead of Barry Windham, because Ric Flair more or less did a Stone Cold Steve Austin before that was a thing and took his ball and went home.
Well, dude, that was incredibly informative. Do you have anything else for us on this on Map It?
I know you're doing today's show with Anthony Pires. Anthony himself is a media reporter, covers a lot of different wrestling things. He was actually part of the media scrum when we went to, what was the pay-per-view in Chicago? Remind me real quick of its title. All Out. I mix up the titles sometimes. I almost want to call it Full Gear.
It's Anthony Pires.
Pires. My apologies. At least he's not going to be able to yell at me in person like Swoggle did with with Phil.
Yep.
I'm sorry I couldn't be here to join you today, Anthony. It's possible, depending on some of the upcoming developments here from Anime NYC, that I might. There's a New Japan panel that's happening tomorrow at about 5 p.m. Eastern as we're taping this now. And if some interesting or exciting new development happens, I will make every effort I can to come back for a little bit and at least be a part of the show tomorrow night live. If not, I hope you have fun with the rest of these crazy sons of bitches. I hope you'll come back when I'm able to play with you. And one last thing. Go Bills.
Yeah, there it is. I was waiting. Go Bills, tighten the fuck up, anything but go Pats. But we're probably going to hear a ton of that anyway. From that note, we need to go back to the future. All right, everyone unmute themselves.
And we're back.
Is everyone unmuted? Are we good?
I gotta say really quick,
We're good.
whoever did the bar crawl across the bottom of the screen,
My mic again.
that made me laugh.
All right, Michael, say that one more time because my
don't. No, please. I heard it. I'm good.
No, I just said I gotta say whoever did the little bar crawl or the Chiron, whatever you call the thing at the bottom of the screen with the little Charlotte Flair apology and the disclaimer, that made me LOL.
What'd you say?
I must speak.
Speak.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Frank, I appreciate you inviting me here.
Oh,
thank goodness I was a guest. Thank goodness I was a guest, because I guarantee your listenership is going up by about a dozen this week because of me. Henry, son of a bitch. You go out. Henry, you son of a bitch. You come out here and you do your little, oh, look at Jim Ryan. You know, Jim Herb was a son of a bitch. Oh, no. Anthony, the Bills, go Bills. You were not man enough to step up into my world, my life, my team, my Patriots, and talk to me man to man, which is fine. I get that. We've won 6 titles. You've lost 4 straight Super Bowls. Congratulations. They're equal. They're equal. Yeah, Money. I'm talking to you, Money Mike. He sits there and has the audacity to talk Bills shit. And you know what? Folks, I'm behind the curtain. By the time you read this, Brandy will be in town. Frank will be talking Titans crap to me. I'm gonna eat him alive. Live at Gillette Stadium the Sunday after Thanksgiving, just like I've eaten everybody alive for 6 Super Bowl wins and 5 and 4. That's 9 trips to the Super Bowl. Guys, as Chris Jericho and Fozzy sang, Don't you wish you were me? Frank.
I remember that song.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I'm going to be very honest with all of you. First of all, just to let everyone know, during Map It, Nikita did in fact beat Sting in that match. I was expecting at some point for Nikita's balls to flop out like they usually do or happened before. And now we're getting ready for Lex Luger and Barry Windham for the vacated WCW World Heavyweight title. What I wanted to say was, going into football real quick, and yes, as you can see up top in the middle here, I believe Phil is sleeping with his eyes open. I am a very loyal person. Us Italians are extremely loyal. So in sickness and in health, I love my Tennessee Titans. And they were shitty in the 90s as the Oilers. They were shitty in the 2010 eras as the Titans. I think, Anthony, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I was in attendance at 59-0. I was there.
So was I.
Yeah.
Was I. God, it
Yeah.
was a miserable day, but God, the wet, it was sleet, it was hail, it was cold, it was rainy. I almost caught pneumonia, I almost died, but it was worth it to watch us put 59 on your asses.
Yeah, and that's the last time I ever went to Gillette for a football game. So
we have not missed you. I love you, but we have not missed you.
I talk shit. We all have a good time on here talking shit with our teams and stuff, but I got mad respect for Bill Belichick.
I have to admit I do too. Like, I might joke with you, Anthony, but what Bill Belichick's been able to do, and I saw an interesting stat today that I think is worth noting. Matt Jones has a better win percentage, has more wins than the other rookie quarterbacks combined. Somebody that's follows him more frequently. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I saw that today and I believe it's true.
No,
so
you
can't speak negatively about Bill Belichick and the Belichick system. He knows what he's doing.
I'm just reading the scroll. oh my God! I gotta read it out loud. Update: Henry Map It Man will not be joining us for this broadcast. His Maple Man cosplay has drawn the attention of many furries in attendance, and he is experiencing his first sexual experience from a fat Italian guy in a Rainbow Dash costume. I want everyone to know that my production assistant, who will remain nameless, is a fucking genius. So what I really wanted to get at was, honestly, I just want one. That's all I want. I want to live to see one day where the Tennessee Titans hold up that Super Bowl trophy, and it's never going to be easy, ever. But New England has certainly made it look that way, right?
And God in it 6 freaking times. I can tell you, it never gets old. And at your age, no offense, at your age, you probably won't live long enough to see the Tennessee Titans win 6 Super Bowls. And
just
go
one.
11. By the way, all you guys want to harp on is 6 championships. We've been to 11 Super Bowls. You know how difficult this is for me? Because as you know, I'm a 30-year season ticket holder. I have to buy playoff tickets every single year at Christmas time. On Thanksgiving weekend, do you guys have any idea how difficult it is for me to shell out $200-$300 for playoff tickets, even if I don't know they played? Yes, I've always bought them. And God Almighty, it's a long day, guys. No offense. I've probably been 30 playoff games. It's hard. It's not easy being me.
I feel real bad for you.
So I did want to, Anthony, I wanted to ask you one question, because the one thing that does bother me is Spygate, and
all right,
real quick, I don't know the particulars of it. I really don't, and I don't know if it played a part. But the 2003 playoffs, actually, it was the 2004 playoffs, but it was the 2003 season. Steve McNair and the Tennessee Titans should have beaten the New England Patriots.
Sure.
So if spying was a part of that, that pisses me off. But moving forward, after that, once it was all figured out, like I don't believe in Deflategate and all that bullshit. You know, the Tennessee Titans got their asses handed to them several times by New England in Nashville and in New England, and I witnessed most of them. So Spygate's the only thing that bugs me. Could they have defeated the Patriots in that game that night? I'm assuming you were there, right?
Yes.
It was one of the coldest games on record in New England.
I got to the stadium. I got to the parking lot about 4 hours before the game started.
That was the 58-0 deal, right?
No. This was 17-14 Patriots.
2003, This was 2003 AFC divisional playoff game at Gillette Stadium.
Oh, okay.
I got out of the game, popped open my trunk, took out a beer and cracked it open. I put it on top of my car. My buddy and I set up our tailgate. We set up our grill. We set up our tent, whatever. 5 minutes later, I went to go drink the beer that I opened up, frozen.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. It was negative something that night.
Oh, wind chill -11. True story.
And that's the part, Anthony, that bugs me is like those teams back then were Super Bowl worthy, and you know shit happens. Like honestly, the 9-7 team that went to the FC Championship game against Chiefs, they weren't Super Bowl worthy. I was shocked that they did what they did. This year, this team with all the adversity that we have, I mean, now another one of our top stars is hurt. And I just want to all keep that in the back of your minds when the shit, because I really think Tennessee is going into New England and they're going to lose. I really do think that. When you've got no D. Henry, no Julio, and now no Bud Dupree, come on. I mean,
I got one for you about that night. I'm going to go further about that night. That was 2003. My father had just lost the Rhode Island governor election that year. He ran for governor, lost. I was wearing my Pires for Governor t-shirt. Okay. Now, I'm walking. Now, this is back when, back before everything went digital. You had to show them the physical ticket. I had to take off my coat, my sweatshirt, my Under Armour. I'm in a t-shirt that says Tony Pires for Governor. Father Antonio and I'm walking up, I've got everything in my hand. I'm walking in my seat. Now, Frank, you remember how close was that?
Yeah.
Some dude in back, he partied. He tripped, spilled 2 beers all over my t-shirt. I figure I'm gonna put all my clothes back on once I get to the seat. I was saturated in beer. Now, after I sucked like this, the t-shirt, I had to go spend $150 on 2 sweatshirts just to make myself warm. I froze like an MFer. But goddamn it, Brandy, I know you appreciate this. I rooted every second of that game. The Pats won. Go Pats!
I do have a follow-up Patriots question for you, Anthony, because I actually think this one is valid as we talk about things like Spygate. We talk about things like Deflategate, and I'm not going to actually crap on the Patriots here. It's a valid question, because I want to spin it into something we look at with wrestling. Wrestling, there's a lot of rumor and innuendo. I know Brandy talked about her behind-the-scenes stuff with the Tell Me Brandy segment a few minutes ago. How much of this Patriot saga and the Spygate, the Deflategate, how much of that in the NFL do you think has taken on elements of wrestling, and that they're similar in that they're always looking for the backstory or the rumor and innuendo? Do you think there's elements of that? And if you had to compare the New England Patriots to a wrestler in terms of being a dynasty and an all-around performer, who would that be?
Oh, that's a great question.
I defer to ladies first, Brandy, the lovely Brandy. Take over.
Thanks,
I
Frank.
do think that it has taken on elements of pro wrestling in that everybody loves to talk about the stories and then tries to find other reasons to justify their dislike of the team. But at the end of the day, 20 years on, we're still showing up every Sunday. We're going to play our asses off. And more times than not, we're going to win. And y'all just have to get used to it.
I agree.
Brandy,
Wrestler wise,
better than I could have ever said it.
I think it would be facetious to say that we're like Ric Flair, but I mean,
wow.
Yeah, we're Rick friggin' Flair. The straw that we're no, fine. You want to be Ric Flair? Let's be Reggie Jackson. The straw that stirs the drink. Mr. Everything, Mr. I'm sorry, Reggie Jackson, my favorite baseball player. You know, this is the Patriots. Come on, you want to talk about deflated? Listen, after the Indianapolis Colts allegedly found us cheating, what the hell happened? We put up 40 points after.
Right. I wanted Anthony. I wanted to bring that up. That's why I don't really believe Deflategate, because
And I wasn't saying I believed it. I just was using it as an example.
if you take away the score, the halftime score, I think even after that, the Patriots destroyed them. So
yeah,
you could say like Spygate's the only one I could actually see a possibility with, but you know, and I honestly I don't. I think Tom Brady's down in Tampa Bay doing the same motherfucking thing he did up here. So it's clearly I don't.
After
you know.
All right, ready, folks? Here's education. After the 2006 season, all that videotaping stuff, all that whatever, became illegal. Got caught. Allegedly, we got caught in the first quarter of the goddamn game of game one of the 2007 season, where we played the goddamn Jets. I mean, seriously, we didn't cheat to beat the Jets. No, we beat them like friggin' Joan Crawford beat her children in Mommy Dearest.
That's a reference right there.
That's a freaking reference because I'm.
That's
no wire hangers.
No.
That's a deep cut right there.
Yeah.
I actually have a wrestler to compare the Patriots to, and I'd be curious to get your thoughts on this. To me, modern day Patriots are Roman Reigns, good at their jobs, but the mainstream public doesn't like them.
Oh my God.
Is that
which?
No. The most annoying sound of the world is not. Here's why. Do you know why I bought my Patriots season ticket?
Because you like the Patriots?
No, Brent. When you covered that practice. Do you remember what I told you? You look confused, so I'll answer the question for you. Back in 1992, we were so bad in every possible scenario that nobody bought tickets to the Patriots. So our local games were all black.
Yep. Yeah.
I bought my season tickets, watch my team because watch them on TV. God almighty, those tickets cost me $120 the entire freaking year. That's why I bought them. That's why God almighty. If I told you what they cost me now, my wife would be very upset because she paid them. But if I was on the waiting list and that came through today, I'd look at it and go, yeah, I don't think it's 30 years, guys. It's a legacy. That I bought.
That's cool.
Couldn't sell out a game. We got blacked out.
Yeah, so honestly, I look at the Patriots. Honestly, I can look at the Patriots like the Shawn Michaels of the NFL, because they're good at playing heel, they're good at playing face. I mean, believe me, when they're winning and they're constantly beating everyone down, they're the heel, right? And then if they're a down team and they're coming up like they were in the early '90s, they play good face. So, look, it's all good and fun and stuff, but like for me, I just want to see the Titans win one Super Bowl. I don't need 6. I just want one, because I'm tired of the how many have they won, Frank? oh, they've only been to one Super Bowl, lost by 1 yard. Like, get out.
I hate to say it, the famous thing about the Tennessee Titans is that the greatest player in the history of the Tennessee Titans picked the wrong woman to have a boom.
Oh my God, that's horrible to say.
No, the
Steve
most famous
McNair
thing about the
is my
Tennessee
boy.
Titans is that the Tennessee Titans saved TNA, as heard on a recent My World episode. As heard on a recent My World episode over at Ad Free Shows.
Phil, do you have to fill us in tonight?
No, I think I've been filled in on all of this Patriots goodness.
Okay.
So much Patriots goodness
Oh, Jesus.
that I think I'm just going to jump on the cliff afterwards.
Now, let me tell you this. Now, Anthony's sitting here, he's a homer when it comes to football, but when you show him this red B, what happens?
I get angry. I get
Right.
furious. I get sad. I have flashbacks to first grade, Curtis Elementary School, the beating I took. I know people find it weird. I'm a diehard Patriots, Celtics, Bruins fan, but yet I hate the Red Sox. Are you curious about this?
Yeah,
You
why
hate
is
the Red-
that, Anthony?
you hate the
why
Red
do
Sox?
you dislike
I
the Red
hate
Sox?
the Red Sox. I
He's
swear,
a Yankee fan.
if a plane ever crashed at Logan Airport, I hope it crashes at Fenway Park and kills me. I'm just
That is
kidding.
rough.
Are you ready for why I'm a Yankee fan?
Mhm.
Okay. When my grandfather, back in the early 30s, came to America from Portugal, he came with his cousin, Joe. My father was Antonio. My great uncle was Joe. And my grandfather couldn't have cared less about sports. My grandfather moved to Pawtucket, Rhode Island, got a job in the factory industry. He got a job in the public works store. He started building the highway that became Route 95. My great uncle Joe stayed in New York. And back in those days, man, back in the 50s, you drove 4.5, 5, 6 hours to have dinner with your family. My God rest them both, my grandparents drove my little father to New York every other weekend to have lunch with my great uncle Joe. And he became a huge baseball fan. I don't know if you guys know anything about the Yankees back in those days in the 30s and 40s, but that was the team that the immigrants all gravitated towards. As you know, both the players and the fans, Maggio, Berra, they were Italian immigrants, but all of the immigrants felt as though they were the team that they could relate to. So, you know, my father would show up. My father, not 8, 9 years old, would show up. And my great uncle Joe passed away in 1989. He would buy my father Yankee hats. He would tell my father all about the teams. My father started becoming addicted to baseball on the radio, because boys and girls back in the old days, you had to listen to baseball games on the radio. My father would take the aluminum foil. My grandfather was pissed that my father was wasting aluminum foil, setting up the radio so we could listen to the Yankees. So move forward. My father is my hero. He's still alive at 77 years old. He worked his ass off. And when I was a little boy, I never saw my father. I never saw him because he worked from 5 a.m. till midnight running his own business. I'm in first grade. First grade, I'm a 6-year-old boy. I come home from school one day and my father is home. And I'm thinking something's wrong. Because my father's never home. My father took the afternoon off to watch the 1978 one-game playoff between the Yankees and the Red Sox, Bucky effing Dent. And I apologize. When I was, after the Yankees won, my father, the first memory of my father being happy was after the Yankees won that game. He jumped around the house. And my father, bear in mind, guys, my father worked to give a life better than I deserve. But when I was in first grade, for the first time at 6 years old, my father was happy. He jumped around the house, jumping for joy like I do at a freaking wrestling match because the Yankees beat the Red Sox. And from that day on, I didn't know what the hell baseball was when I was 5, 6 years old. But I know the Yankees made my father happy. And from that day on, I was a Yankee fan. I'm sorry.
First of all, I mean,
That was a beautiful story.
That
My
was a wonderful story.
father's not going to hear this, but
I mean that right there, it's a lineage thing, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
he took me. Now, bear in mind, he was building his business. And that was 1978. In 1996, he took me to the World Series.
oh
And
my
I
lord.
was a man at that time. And my father, Frank and Brand, next week, I'd be honored. I'd be honored if you would meet my father.
Oh, I would love to.
Absolutely. I would love to.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna mute myself, and I just.
And let me tell you something, guys. This is what it's important to us on TGT is that we have these
Yeah.
human connections, right? So,
Yeah.
first of all, just to bring it back to the pay-per-view, your new WCW World Champion with the new WCW World Heavyweight Belt is Lex Luger.
Yeah.
Anthony,
With the
brother,
ugliest looking
we
pile driver and ugliest looking tights of all time.
Anthony, we love you, buddy, and the fact that you
thank.
My mother kicks copious ass too. I know they're going to listen to this when I tell them a podcast. I love you both. I love you both very, very much.
Look, I'm an only child. My parents are my world.
Same.
Just,
yeah.
You know, and
I'm
I
an
love
only
my
child too. My parents, my mom, my grandmother, my stepfather, my father. It's important, and Anthony, I love that story. That was such a touching story I didn't expect, and I think this has been my favorite episode. I say it all the time, but this is my favorite episode of Top Guy Theater, and just getting to know you more. This is what it's all about. I mean, this is the embodiment of what we're trying to do. And Phil, Frank, I know you guys are the ones that booked the guests, but Anthony, I hope you'll come back and join us again because this has been so much fun, and you are a storyteller.
Honestly, Frank and Brandy, whoever's in charge of this thing, whenever you want me back on, I'm freaking on. I love this so much, and thank you for letting me.
I think so.
Tears. This might be the first tears ever shed on Top Guy Theater.
Yeah, there's nothing that honestly was a beautiful story. It really was, and it just
Frank and Brandy,
was
honored if you meet my parents next week.
I would absolutely love to. Yeah, absolutely love to. Just to cycle back to the pay-per-view real quick. So the last match in this show is Rick Steiner versus Arn Anderson and Paul E. Dangerously because the Maryland State Athletic Commission did not want Missy Hyatt to wrestle. So it is in a steel cage. And wait a minute. Is that Missy Hyatt coming out with him?
Yes.
So what's going on? I'm so confused.
The match happens. She doesn't do anything except for she gets taken out.
If Missy Hyatt got in the cage, they were going to fine WWE about $50,000. So they did a deal where she would bring with Rick Steiner and the hardliner, Dick Murdoch and Dick Slater, a couple of dicks, carry her off.
This is the stupidest match of all time, of all matches possibly.
Wait, you're saying it's dumber than a Punjabi prison match?
Yes.
I actually am inclined to agree.
Do you know how long this match is without looking?
Yes, I do. 2 minutes and like 3 seconds.
Yeah, something like that. It's like 2 minutes and 8 seconds or something. But it's why? What was the point? This is how the pay-per-view ended.
Yeah. You went off the air with this.
Dude punched a fan.
That's what 91 WCW was all about.
This is how the show ended?
Yes, This is how the show goes off the air.
This is the main event, right? Like you thought that Lex Luger winning the vacated title, that's the main event. No. Paul E. Dangerously and Arn Anderson versus Rick Steiner in a
Missy
cage
Hyatt.
for 2
And I don't
minutes.
remember if it was Dick Murdoch or Dick Slater, but whoever had Missy Hyatt, they dropped her on her head.
You
Not
know
only
what?
that,
I'm-
he
I'm-
punched a fan.
He dropped her so that he could hit a fan.
I'm glad we watched this tonight because everybody craps on modern day WWE, and after this, I think modern day WWE is actually an improvement from this, and that is saying a lot.
Hey, Anthony, you're muted, buddy.
I wanted you guys to watch this show because that way, if you saw how horrible this was, you would see exactly why modern wrestling isn't as bad as we think.
I agree.
Well, some of modern wrestling. I don't think that all modern wrestling is bad. I think like and even in the matches in WWE, even now, even though the creative's fucking awful, the matches are not terrible.
Tomorrow night, well, by the time you guys listen to the Survivor Series, will be 5 days old, but we're recording this as Survivor Series is like a day away.
Right.
I doubt the matches will be excellent.
Well,
do you care?
No, and
I actually do. Survivor Series is my favorite pay-per-view of the year, so I will always care about it.
Survivor Series is great, but it's going to be hard to care about some of those matches. Like,
I
let's
think
throw 25 people in a battle royal for fun.
so. Real quick, I think we should have a mini Top Guy weekend next November when the Survivor Series comes to the TD Garden.
Yeah, buddy.
I'll be honest with you. This is a less busy time of the year. If you guys want to do that, I'm game to do that.
Well,
That'd be fun.
we're going, so if you want to come,
So, Michael, you want to come to Boston, buddy?
Hour drive.
It's like an hour flight for me from Buffalo, so that actually might be a possibility. Depends what's going on.
That's what we're
And
doing.
then,
I mean,
and then
Frank
think,
definitely and I are going. I'm sure
Whoa,
Pires
whoa,
is in,
guys,
so.
let's not do that. We're Rebels in St. Louis in a couple of months, and Phil lives there. Let's all have a Top Guy get together.
Oh my God!
Well, I might be going.
That
I
was a
might
great
be.
idea.
I might be going to St. Louis too. So
Yeah, I unfortunately, even though I'm in St. Louis, I could not get tickets for the Rumble. So
At
I'll be
that
there.
point,
I'll invite people that come out, but I can't go.
Oh, I don't know if I can actually go to the Rumble. I just think I'm going to be there.
Phil,
That
at
match is
that
awful.
point, the St. Louis, I'll need a St. Pacioli, the father of modern day accounting, because that's right on my busy season schedule, January. That's right when we start rolling.
There you go.
Real quick, Rhode Island Sex God, you and I have a date on May 8th of 2022 when whatever the May pay-per-view is comes to the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island. Although Coelho is welcome to join as well.
Hi.
No, not Coelho. He's wearing that dirty Red Sox hat. No. Arpin, yes. Coelho, no. Look at this.
All right, hold on. There you go.
There he goes.
Costume change alert.
Now he's
how do you
invited.
feel about it now?
He can go now.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, guys. So that's the end of this pay-per-view.
That's the end.
The very first.
Making you all watch this. I apologize.
No, that's what we do on this
This
show.
has been my favorite episode. This was Anthony. This was awesome.
This is great. It's had storylines. It's had sad things. It's got everything.
Man nipples.
I want Frank and I want to apologize
That were not Frank's.
over as far as that story goes. I apologize for making it a little bit sad, but
no need to apologize.
No, that
You have brought the feels tonight. So let's get our final thoughts on Great American Bash 1991. Let's start with the Rhode Island Sex God.
Thumbs all the way up because this was the first WCW pay-per-view I was able to watch at my house. I loved Baron. Let's take a look here. Steve Austin, Bobby E, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Sting, Nikita Koloff, Lex Luger. We're talking Hall of Famers all the way around. This was the height of the Jim Herd era. So God bless them for having to do what they did.
If WCW only knew how to use them right. James, your thoughts?
So at the time, this did not interest me as much. In retrospect, highly interesting now knowing who the players are, because if you think about all the pay-per-view starts off with god awful flag scaffold match, and yeah, it gets better, but Jesus, that doesn't really get you excited to watch the rest of the pay-per-view. But today, it's actually great to look back on it because you see all the stars, and even though Bobby Eaton was a star that was not utilized at all pretty much after after they broke up, and God help me, this pay-per-view needs help still.
After the Midnight Express broke up.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Do you have final thoughts too?
Yeah. So, Brandy, your thoughts on the pay-per-view? Sorry, I had a mouthful of water. Go ahead.
Okay. It was not the first time I've seen this one. I've seen this one many times. Yes, it was not the best. Oh, Sapphire says she's done.
She's like, bitch, please.
At the end of the day, you really can't beat just watching wrestling with your friends and getting to know each other better. So that's my main takeaway is we got to know each other better and we got to spend 2 hours together. That's what matters.
There you go. McClanahan, your thoughts?
This has, I say it all the time that I'm on here, and I think it's because of the people that we bring on. First, thank you for having me on again. I always appreciate it. I love getting to watch wrestling because I've never seen any of this, but I think more importantly tonight than the wrestling, and I said that a few minutes ago, was what we learned about having Anthony on the show. I absolutely love the personal story that he told about his relationship with his father, because I think in a lot of ways that's the catalyst for this program. It brings people together. Wrestling, football, whatever it is, it brings people together. And I love the story. I think Anthony's a great storyteller. Hope he'll be back on the program. But overall, I thought pay-per-view was good and another fantastic night spent with all of you. So again, thank you all so much. And for those of you watching the program, hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving and spend it with the people you care about.
Absolutely. Before we get to Phil, just so everyone, well, you know what? I don't know why I'm going to say it because it's going to be passed anyway. So, we've got this Antonio's Boner show dropping the night of Thanksgiving, but by the time this airs, that'll be long gone. So, Phil, your thoughts on the pay-per-view?
I don't really have thoughts on the pay-per-view. In fact, until about 5 minutes ago, I didn't realize we were actually recording the show. I thought we were just chit-chatting about football for 2 hours. Be that as it may, this was peak WCW shit up until 99, and then it was even more shit. It was the cough on the roller skates. I don't have much to add about the pay-per-view. Anthony, it was great to have you on. I do want to throw out there, do not forget, everyone, that upcoming we have Top Guy Theater's first annual Christmas catastrophe. It's already been announced by the time this video is dropped. It was announced on our last episode as well. It's all over. Check it out. You're not going to be disappointed. We record on the 19th. It'll be dropped by Christmas Eve. Can't wait to bring that to you guys. And please, I don't normally beg for this. Give us some likes and subscribe, because I get off every time someone subscribes to this show.
Oh boy.
Oh my. And thus far, I've only done that 117 times in my life, and I'd like to do it more. So let's get some subs up on there. Exactly, brought to us by Spermies. Other than that, got nothing else to add.
All right. Well, having me on the show is going to increase your subscribers like fivefold.
Yes. I prefer sixfold, like the Patriots. So my honest opinion here is the show blows, but I've had a lot of fun with all of you. I will agree that the best match was that elimination match with Dustin and the Young Pistols and the Fabulous Freebirds, which I realize now was with Big Daddy Dink, which was Oliver Humperdinck. So it was what it was. I mean, look, WCW survived another 10 fucking years after this, so clearly, they got their shit together. On that note, I'm really excited what the future holds for us. We will be announcing in a few weeks via Twitter that we are going to have our very first live show So I will give you more information on that, guys, when we go off air. But with that being said, I'm going to roll our outro. And as usual, thank you for joining us at Top Guy Theater.
One more quick thing before you. I want to say
Go ahead.
And go Pats!
14 WrestleManias.
A leg drop, an elbow smash, a body slam.
Are you ready to fight? Who will survive?